Now, markets are still digesting the Fed's decision to keep rates unchanged. The biggest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, dipped 2.5% as hopes for a rate cut in March dampened. Tarris Arnold, Business Development Manager at Luno, joins us now to discuss this and other trends playing out in the crypto space. Thank you so much for your time, Tarris. Now, Bitcoin traded red for green at the beginning of the week. How much of an impact has that dip been on Bitcoin in the aftermath of the Fed keeping a hold on interest rates?
Thanks, Nadi. Thanks for having me. As you mentioned, we did see a bit of a dip with the Fed holding off. I think there was a lot of hopes that a rate cut would kind of add some fuel to the fire. I think in general, the start of the year this month has been relatively stable. We haven't seen any crazy too volatile price fluctuations that are usually associated with Bitcoin. At the moment, it's still trading hands at around $42,000 mark. In South Africa, we've seen a bit of a higher increase in value for rands to Bitcoin. But in general, in the whole, the last month, we've seen a more positive increase in the Bitcoin price.
Yeah, well, one of the big drivers of investor sentiment in the crypto space, of course, has been the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US by the SEC. Just talk to me about the flows that people have seen since the launch of the spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US.
Yes, I think that's probably one of the most anticipated stories of the year, especially in the crypto space. I did see a lot of institutional money now being able to flow into the crypto space, particularly into the purchasing of Bitcoin, with 11 ETFs officially approved. At the moment, we're seeing BlackRock has reached about $2 billion in assets under management. Luno's sister company Grayscale has converted their nearly $30 billion of asset under management into this ETF now, which is showing really strong growth. And in general, we're seeing a kind of net inflow of about $745 million, which is really a strong indication of the market taking this new offering quite positively.
Yeah. Well, talk to me about the flows when it comes to Grayscale as well, because that has also been quite a big topic.
Yes. So Grayscale initially were offering a similar type of ETF product where they had complete control over their Bitcoin, but weren't able to list it on the New York Stock, listed on public exchanges. Now that they are able to, now that that has been approved, they've converted that entire pool of funds, their entire trust into an ETF. It's almost 10 years old, so it's quite an experienced and veteran financial product. And now we're seeing that about $30 billion. There was a bit of kind of price flow out as we saw Grayscale looking to capitalize on some of the profits of their holdings, but that's largely dampened. We've seen a lot of analysts at JP Morgan, for example, kind of speaking to that, worrying, not necessarily worrying, but sharing concerns about how that might dampen the Bitcoin price, but largely it's accepted that the worst of that is behind us.
Well, as we're talking about big investors and also companies that hold a Bitcoin, is Tesla still in it?
Yes, Tesla's still in it. I think Tesla presents a really unique use case in the crypto space. Often Bitcoin is purely looked at as, and crypto in general, as a speculative investment. And typically you don't find non-investment focused businesses exploring the asset or let alone investing into it. At the moment, we know that Tesla are still holding about 9,000 Bitcoin, which is a really significant purchase. A really significant AUM. It really does provide an indication of the non-investment types of businesses looking at cryptocurrency and Bitcoin as a potential utility to shore up their treasury and potentially take advantage of the benefits of cryptocurrency in general.
Yeah, and lastly, as we wrap up the conversation, PayPal has invested in a crypto firm. What are the mechanics of that and PayPal's motivation?
Yeah, so that's really, really exciting. I think PayPal is one of the kind of OG internet companies, what we refer to as a Web 2 internet company that really revolutionized the game and itself had a connection to Elon Musk. Fairly recently, last year, they announced that they were developing their own stablecoin, and a stablecoin is essentially a crypto equivalent of a fiat currency. So they developed something called PayPal USD, which is their version of the US dollar. Right now, the dominant players in the space are Tether and Circle, but we've seen PayPal's USD coin market cap double since December, and now we got the news that they invested in a digital crypto startup called Mesh. And probably the most exciting part about that for the PayPal team is they were able to use their own stable coin to conduct that investment, which was valued at about $5 million.
Yeah, really exciting things happening there in that crypto space. Thank you so much for enlightening us today, Tarris. That was Tarris Arnold, Business Development Manager at Luno.